Hey, what is good? What is good? What is good, beautiful people? You know who I am. No need for the introduction, no need for the formalities. Pretty sure this video is going to rub some people the wrong way. Matter of fact, I expect probably dislikes before the video begins. But before you get into your feeling and get all your panties in a bunch, let me explain. All right? So, all formalities skipped. Links, everything listed in the link in the description there below. Let's do a quick recap. Recently I did a live stream. It was an awesome live stream. It was a great way to kick off 2020. What did we talk about? We talked about how a Filipinas love for black men is conditional. You know, kind of felt like that was a pretty self-explanatory statement in the particular video. I spoke about how us as African American, black men, African, wherever you're coming from, as long as you share the same skin pigmentation as myself, we are required to step our game up. We are required to bring the best version of ourselves. Luckily for us, those that do represent the negative aspects of our community are really not traveling because A, they can't get a passport due to child support. They can't get a passport due to having a record or going to jail or things like that. So most of the time we are bringing about the best versions of our community and culture when we come to the Philippines. But also I talked about how, with all due respect, the white guys are always going to be preferred. All right. So in this particular video, I wanted to speak to you guys very briefly about how a Filipinas love for white guys or white men is also conditional. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I do believe that being a white guy in the Philippines can be a gift and it can also be a curse. All right? In fairness, I do extend that particular narrative and I do share in that particular narrative because there's one guy who talked about that briefly. His name is David Demuzio. Maybe you guys remember the video that he did. He talked about why it's hard to be a white guy or something dating in the Philippines or something like that. He did a video about that. And to an extent, I do agree with some of his certain talking points. But overall, my agreement with him was basically that it is a gift and a curse to be a white guy in the Philippines. Yes, if we talk about colonial times and all of this shit and colonization, blah, 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 whoop-de-doo, and then you come to the conclusion that that's the reason why Caucasian men have preferential treatment and all that stuff. Okay, whatever you believe to be accurate, I will let you share in your opinions. That's why we have a comment section below. And that's why this is not an actual live stream, but more so a video for me to express my thoughts and for you guys to comment down below. Like I said, it can be a gift and a curse basically because yes, you may be preferred, but also I do believe that they look at white men for money. You can say that more so about all foreigners, but for the most part, I'm honestly going to sit here and tell you that I do believe that Filipinas, sorry, and this is no disrespect to the ladies. First and foremost, guys, don't be getting your panties in a bunch and shit. Talk about, oh, all Filipinas ain't this, all Filipinas ain't that. Yes, we know, motherfucker. It's just a video expressing a thought process and a narrative that I think my gentlemen can be able to agree and share with. Okay, ladies? For once, this actually has nothing to do with you. It has everything and nothing to do with you guys at all. We still love you. We're still going to come to the country. So y'all ain't got to be worried about it. Okay. So slide all of your opinions to the side and listen. Okay. See, I done interrupted myself, done messed myself up. Anyways, like I was saying, I do believe that they look upon white men from a financial aspect as well. To be honest with you, as funny as it sounds, I would honestly go out on a limb, and to an extent, this is just me throwing some ideas out there. I don't believe that they look at black men as having money. They don't really look at us from a financial aspect too much. Again, being a foreigner from America or whatever it may be, or from the Western world, you're looked at as money. But from the most part, the white guys are probably looked upon to have the most money in reference to their African American counterparts. Now, to also throw fuel to the fire, honestly, guys, please, my fellow Caucasian counterparts, do not take this the wrong way when I say it, but I'm going to be honest with you. You guys do not make it easy on yourselves, okay? Your group in general does not make it easy on yourself if you're not trying to be looked upon as a financial security or a financial card, or this guy's going to be able to take care of me financially. The reason I say that is because every time I go online, there's always a bunch of older Caucasian gentlemen throwing money at Filipinas and super chats and Patreons and shit like that in the most thirstiest way humanly possible, that it doesn't really make your group look great. I'm not saying that you guys are the only ones who do that, other races do it too. I'm just saying that you guys are probably the usual suspects, okay? And I mean no disrespect when I say it, I'm just being honest. Normally, it is you guys that are the usual suspects that are used to, that are the ones being seen throwing money or super chatting and doing all of this stuff for these mid-tier to low-tier Filipinas in the country, okay? I'm not gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're not the cutest. But because they're the ones that you see on a regular basis, the ones that you deem to support, the ones that you like, you think that they represent the Filipinas in the country, and you're sadly mistaken. But, that's neither here nor there. I'm just basically saying that you're not making it easy on yourself at all. But I will say this, because there will be some people who were part of the live stream that will say, Doc, you're contradicting yourself. And you'd be like, how, Doc? How is the good Doc contradicting himself? In the video, I said that a Filipina will sleep with a broke white guy just to have the baby, right? So if they're looked upon from financial status, how does that compare? I am so glad that you asked. The reason why I made that particular statement in that video is I was just making a comparison. They will sleep and have babies with unstable or less fortunate or guys that don't have a lot more money if they are white, and more so than they would ever do with a guy that's black, which is why I explained that black men have to be able to present the best version of themselves. But that was just more so from a comparison aspect. For the most part, they are looking at you from the financial standpoint. They are thinking that you are going to be their white knight. Hence the word white knight. If you guys don't know the definition of the word white knight, that means you are the person that is coming through to save the day. They sure as hell ain't talking about no black knight. Black is bad, remember? So I'm just saying that to be funny. But let's be honest. I think that the phrase was coined white knight for a specific reason. Not going to go into why I believe that reason is what it is. But I'm just saying, in hindsight, a Filipinas love, in my personal opinion, is conditional for white men as well. Simply because they're looking at you guys for stability. They're looking at you guys for what you could do for them. Seriously, they may see that amongst all foreigners, but I do believe that they expect that particular aspect more from you guys than they do from somebody like me. Okay? Being white in the Philippines is definitely a gift and a curse, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to sit there and lie to you. I see it. Now, a lot of you guys will be like, this black motherfucker doesn't have the right to speak about white guys. He's not white. He doesn't know. He doesn't know our struggles. Yeah, I do know your struggle. All right, and the struggle is real. The privileges you have in the country, yeah, that's a struggle. It's the biggest struggle I've ever seen in my whole entire life. I see you motherfuckers destitute all the time. But also what I do see, and whether you want to agree with it or not, I do see more of you guys complaining about being scammed and gold digged on and all of that shit, more so than anybody else. And again, it goes back to the simple fact that you guys are probably the more charitable race on God's green earth. I think you guys are more charitable than all of us other folk, all of us persons of color. So because you guys are more charitable and more willing to give, and then you give your heart for no god awful reason whatsoever, and then that girl takes it out of your chest and stomps on it, then comes this girl scammed me, all Filipinos and gold diggers. Then you start to see those videos. And again, we could say, it's because you're a simp, you're a lame, and all of that stuff. Yes, that is the truth. I mean, you allowed yourself to be taken advantage of. You didn't even give yourself an opportunity to actually get to know somebody. You just kind of led with your wallet. Again, I think that my Caucasian counterparts do that more than I know I do. And probably someone who is more like myself. So yes, we can sit there and debate back and forth about preferential treatment, colonization. Well, black guys aren't this, or black guys don't have that. Well, this, that, and the other. They only date black guys because of a fetish or something, or they only date white guys because they need the security and the stability and all of this shit. We can have the debate back and forth. Again, the conversation is very deep, and we can go on and on and on about the conversation. But what I want to share in this particular video is the simple aspect that a Filipina's love for white men can also be conditional as well, simply because they look upon you guys for probably more assistance than they would probably do anybody else. I do believe that you need to look out for yourself. It is a gift and a curse to be white. More so a gift than it is a curse, if you ask me, because you can always say no. A lot of you guys don't know how to say no, but eventually you'll learn how to say no, because that is the word. That's the first word that I mastered when I came into the Philippines. It don't even need to be translated into a different language for you guys to be able to understand how to say the word no. Filipinas, they all understand the word no. No need for a translation of that one. Even though yes is O, like oh, yeah, O or oh, yeah, that means yes. Two O's. No, it's still in oh. All right. So again, guys, I just wanted to share in this narrative with you guys. I mean, we can definitely break this down and make it a whole lot convoluted than it needs to be, but that's just my basic understanding of why I personally believe that a Filipina's love for white men can also be conditional. I can love you, but I can love you and I can give myself to you on one condition. You do this for me. You do that for me, etc., etc. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the good doc spew his nonsense. Just having fun, speaking out loud, sharing in a narrative that I think we can all relate to. I know that my audience I do have a mixed audience for the most part. So, to all of my fellow Caucasian counterparts, just some words of wisdom, even though it's coming from a young black guy. Who would have thought? All right. But that is funny though. It's like when you see there's a book out that's written by a Caucasian guy, but it's about teaching in urban neighborhoods or some shit like that, or how to teach or how to relate to kids in the hood. Literally something mentioned like that. I thought that was funny. So in hindsight, this is just a flip of that. This is just a black guy telling white guys how I believe that they can refrain from being taken advantage of in a country where if you're not careful, these women will fucking smell blood and they will come for the throat, come for that jugular, and they'll tear that bitch out like Jaws, baby. All right, sincerely love you guys. Mahal kita, mabuhay. Peace.